Hi, so I'm going to walk you guys through the orientation slideshow. So here we go. So welcome back. I'm Mrs. Downing, and I will be teaching English this year. So a couple things about me. Let me get my pointer ready to go. This is my husband, Nick, and this is our little puppy, Lacey. This is after we first got her. She's a lot bigger now. But I do live in Columbus, Ohio, and I love the Ohio State Buckeyes. So I love to read. This is my current Goodreads challenge. My goal is to read 50 books this year, and I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, so that's good to know. I'm currently in a young adult fantasy reading kick, but I do like to read a lot of different things. And one thing I do just like to reiterate is that I believe any type of reading is reading. So audiobooks, electronically, hardback, paperback, etc., that's all reading. So you can download the Libby app on your phone. It's free. And then you just get a library card, which is also free. And then you can request books and read them for free. It's amazing. I love it, and I strongly recommend it. Here's just a general synopsis of the books I've read this year. They're not all on here, but this is just a good list. My favorite was Six of Crows, which is the second book is Crooked Kingdom, so I just really liked those books. I'm currently in the middle of the Throne of Glass series, as you can tell. So I read Crown of Midnight, Hair of Fire, Queen of Shadows, and then the prequel, Assassin's Blade. And I also really liked A Court of Thorns and Roses. My education, I attended Ohio University for my undergrad and graduate degrees. So I can pretty much, it just says that I can teach high school English, and I got my graduate degree in English so that I could teach College Credit Plus as well. As for my Google Classroom, here it is. I can link to it if you need me to, but basically this is where you'll have my updates, my posts, or what I'm adding, or anything that I'm like, hey guys, don't forget to do this. Then we have the classwork tab, which is where you can find any materials that I will be posting on there, such as assignments or things that you need to be successful in my course. The people, so myself, your fellow students, and our intervention specialists. And then any grades will be posted right here. So it's a pretty easy access for you to find everything. I also have my Google site. So this is also just another place that I'm going to be posting stuff in case Google Classroom just gets a little bogged down. This is where you can find anything along those lines as well. So here's my Bitmoji Classroom. I'm really proud of this. Right here in this corner, you can have access to 20 breakout virtual classroom or virtual rooms. So you kind of have to know that topic a little well to choose from there. Then I have 3 things for the Hate U Give. This is the audiobooks. This is the EPUB file. And then this is the reading schedule. If you actually download this presentation, you can click on any of these and it will take you right to it. Right here, this is a link to just a video about me. Here's our Fluke Classroom. Here's our Google Classroom. Here's our calendar that I've created so far. Most of these things you are able to click on and it will just take you to something random so that you can learn a little bit more about me. As for our class, we are going to be reading The Hate U Give by Angie Thomas. This is a little synopsis about it, but basically we follow the main character, Star Carter, as she witnesses her best friend getting shot by a police officer. There's a couple things I want to note about this, and we'll discuss it. This book is not anti-police officer or anything else. It's really just to show a different side of the story, to kind of teach empathy and to teach understanding. The main thing that we are going to be focusing on is how somebody in the young adult world can figure out how to use their voice to be heard and understood so that we can understand a little bit more about it. I really like this book because I feel like it can connect to any teenager because she talks about, getting on her phone or getting text messages or her parents hounding her or having issues with friends, and it's very common. It's a great book all around. It's absolutely a page turner. As for what you can expect for this class, we're going to read. Obviously, this is an English class, so there's a couple books that we're going to read this year. We'll also read some short stories, and you will be peer reviewing your other students' work. So you're going to have a chance to read plenty of things this year. We're also going to discuss. So you are going to have a chance to use your voice to share what you think about a book with your peers and with me, and that's going to be a huge focal point for our class this year because I want to hear from you guys, and I also want you to hear from your fellow students. We are also going to write. So in this course, we'll write a couple different essays, short stories, etc., and that's going to be things that we focus on this school year to make sure that you are ready for your college English courses. If there's any questions, I'm actually going to have you email them to me, which is my email right here. Sorry, it's covered by a star, but it's gdowning@gisaoh.org. And I'm actually going to go over Gmail next because that's one of the things that we want you guys to focus on this year. As for Gmail, how to save it to your computer dock. So that just means this little dock right here. I have mine right here, and I'm just going to show you how to do that. If you go to Finder, search Mail, and it's this little icon right here, you're just essentially going to drag the icon down here, and then you're going to open it and connect to Google, type your email, your password, and then essentially you're good to go. From there, you'll get the notifications like the ding or whatever to let you know that you got an email. Why you should check your email several times a day? Well, there's several reasons. It helps you stay up to date with your classes so that you know what's going on, if anything is changing, or if you need to know about a deadline, this is where you can find it. It helps you know what is happening within our school. So sometimes administrators will post stuff on our Google advisory pages. So just keep note of that so that you know anything that's happening or going on. And it also keeps you in contact with your teachers. If I send you an email, I'm expecting you to see it and respond to me just so that I know that you know what I'm expecting of you. Typically, I'll send an email every once in a while just to check in, make sure you're doing all right. But it also gives you a chance to email me and ask me questions from there. Here is how you send an email. So here's what this pops up for me. You are going to type in a recipient right here. You can also CC people on it or BCC. If you want to know what that is, you can always ask me and I'll let you know, but I'm not going to dive into that. Then you need a subject. I've often encountered where students type an entire message in the subject. This is meant to be short and include the class and topic. So for this example, if you're asking me a question, you could say English narrative essay question, and then you'll type it right here. Or if it's for digital design, you might type digital design and then assignment question right here in this subject line. So that's where this blue arrow is pointing. If you're sending a text of an email, so this is going to be this bulk area right here. So this is where you're going to include the questions that you have. It's okay if it's longer. Just make sure it's appropriate and that you start with saying hello and address your teacher from there. I have this down here just so that if I send an email and I don't log out with my name, people know who it came from. Then you have your attachments, so you can attach something, you can link something, you can add emojis, you can add stuff like images, something from your Google Drive, etc. All down here, and that's how you do that. As for the assignment, I want you to send me an email at gdowning@gisaoh.org. The subject is going to be English, Gmail practice. Number 3, so the content of the email, just say hello, then answer these questions. Your favorite color, the last thing you read, whether it's a book, magazine, Twitter thread, news article, etc. And then what are you most looking forward to this year? And if you have any further questions, put them in this email as well, and then sign out with your name, and that's it. Please let me know if you guys have questions, and get to work.